guys, welcome to another episode of Guerreros Podcast. Today we have a very cool person, man. I think he's one of the coolest person I met on this weekend. Not to say nobody else was cool, right? But this guy brings me back to my childhood. We got Pats, right?
Yeah,
So,
Chief Pat Gats.
Ooh, man, I almost forgot that part. Chief Pat Gats from First Nation Algonquin, and I hope I said that right, brother.
You got her, man. You got her.
It's a little bit of a tongue twister with you. So, like you said, brother, Quay.
Yes.
Right?
Which means hello.
Thank you. There we go.
Yeah,
We get it together.
Got it.
There we get it together. One thing I love about Pat that he showed me his. Is it okay we talk about the book?
Yes. Yeah.
So he's creating a book for children, right? Sleep habits.
Yeah, how to practice good bedtime habits.
See, so I think it's not going to only be for kids, man. We all need that habit of how to practice good bedtime habits, man.
Yes.
And so he has his language, right? He has the English word and then the Algonquin, right?
Yeah, language right after. Yeah.
So that's why I started with the Quay because now it to me sounds way cooler than hello, man.
Yes.
So, Pat, what brought you all the way from? Where did you come from? Or you know what? Before we even get into it, give our people a little bit of who Pat is and where he's from.
Well, hello everyone, and my friends, especially my new friends that I've met down here. It's amazing. You guys are amazing people in that, and I've came all the way from Canada. I actually drove from Canada 35 hours and over 3,800 kilometers. And that's to come to Driven Mastermind. And Driven Mastermind is held by Albert Preciado. And let me tell you, that mastermind was amazing. I met amazing people. I picked up a lot of information, and anybody who has heard about Driven Mastermind, who's on the fence, needs to attend this mastermind because you're going to walk out of there with knowledge to 10x your business. So it was amazing. I met amazing Jonathan here and a lot of other great people. So the Driven Mastermind is an amazing mastermind to attend. So anybody there, attend it. So I'm actually First Nation Algonquin. I'm from Ontario, province of Ontario. Right now, today's date, there's about 11,000 of us in Ontario. Our land, actually, we have communities in Quebec also. So there's about 10 communities in Quebec and one community in Ontario. And my community is actually Eagle Village First Nation. And my reserve is actually on both Quebec and Ontario territory. So I have a wide range of land up there. And I specialize in hunting. So I live off the grid. I like to hang out in the bush. I find that's my tranquility and my peace and quiet. So
Dude, one of the things that caught my attention to you is when I came to meet you, man, you just had a tank top. You're like all tattooed, you know, your eagles out and everything. And I'm like, Maria comes and goes, she's like, you're going to like this guy. And I'm like, who's that guy, man? Like, I was over here tripping because I wanted to be all like fitted, you know, like nice shirt, like dressed up. And I'm like, and I come in here and I see Pat. Right? And I started talking to you and I was like, damn, bro, this guy's freaking cool, man. So, you know, the other thing that I didn't even know at the time was that you were over here hunting some big game, brother. And not the safe way of, you know, shooting with a gun, but you were over here shooting with bows, spears.
yeah.
Right? Well, do you think anybody in our age can do that kind of stuff right now? Like, do you think if you were to put someone, like for myself, someone in the 30s that's been in the city their whole life, do you think they'll be able to handle that the outdoors?
Well, it's definitely a harsh environment, especially if you're not used to it, to be getting into. But that's actually what I created Hunting for Greatness, the Native Ways for, is actually to be able to give men our age, even older, the chance and opportunity to actually go hunt, experience the outdoors, and get back to our basic roots of humanity. Because even though we've been in modern times in society, in the city, and that, we all came from living off the land, living like caveman, nomadic days. And so yeah, it's been lost in our 21st century in that, and I'm trying to bring this back to life and show people that we don't need to be all caught up in modern times and the media and all of these distractions and that, and we need to come back to the basics. And one thing too that we've been doing a lot, the human race, is destroying Mother Earth. And if it wasn't for Mother Earth, we wouldn't be existing here, folks. So we need to start treating Mother Earth with a lot more respect. And it provides us our water, it provides us our food, so we need to protect that. And that's where the indigenous culture, actually beliefs, come very strong, is practicing on conservation and preserving Mother Nature, because once that's gone, we're never going to have that again, right?
So every time I look, like, come to big cities or any city, I always think of the road, or even like when it's just mountains or in a harsh environment, like you said. And then I was like, damn, man, they just paved over they're paving over the world, right?
Yeah.
And it makes me think, it's like, Mother Nature has its pores.
Yes.
And once you pave it, it's like it has no way to breathe, man.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
So now all these people are freaking, who doesn't drive cars, right? We all need the cars. That's definitely how you got out here smoking all those little race rockets. I couldn't keep up with that 800 horsepower truck, man.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, I actually surprised a lot of folks out here. So I'm rocking the Raptor R, which it has 700 horsepower.
Let's go.
It goes to 0 to 60 in 3.6 seconds. It's got 600 pounds of torque, and we're talking 35-inch tires on the truck.
Oh, yeah, those things look at that like a tank.
Oh,
I was looking at that. I was like, God, dude, I think one tire makes up for 4 of my little vehicle, man. Like, Jesus.
Well, it's funny. A lot of the sports cars out here, like the biggest tires on them are like maybe 26 inches on it, right? So on the way up here, I have actually had Mustangs, I've had Corvettes, I've had Camaros, man. Try to end up testing me, and then, man, they got nothing. I just stepped on the pedal, and there's this native, man, just flying in the wind, man. And then you want to look at the looks on them after, man. Oh yeah, they got a shock. They're like, "What was that, man?"
Bro, I was just thinking, I was like, man, back in the day, of course, you got the Chiefs on one horse. You over here on how many horses? 800?
700.
700 horses at once, man. Handle that, What a change. What a change.
Yeah. But one thing I did notice is the streets down here are small, man. Like my truck is a little bit wider than the average truck, but I'm like riding right on the edge, especially when I'm downtown Hollywood, man. I got to watch for all the other traffic beside me, because I'm like, they're going to give me a new paint job.
Either that, or you're going to freaking just run them over and squish them like a monster truck. That thing is lifted, right?
Yeah.
Dude, it's amazing.
Yeah.
When we're at the mastermind, I was when I walked into in the inner circle, when we're at the office, I did not see your truck. And I always thought about, or one of the cars I always wanted, or one of the trucks I always wanted, was a TRX.
Oh yeah.
And that's because I seen a commercial, right, that said that they tested that thing like out in the back. They freaking went racing with it, and it was the one that actually made it through all the elements and the test that they put him through. That was the one truck that came out alive.
Yeah.
Out of all of them, right? So I was like, I need that truck.
Yeah, well, another thing with the truck too is especially the Raptor, Ford has specialized in the suspension system. So the difference between the Dodge TRX and then the Ford Raptor is the actual frame and suspension on it. So the TRX was the first one that had the Hellcat in it, right? Mm-hmm. And went 700 horsepower. And it was supposed to be the Raptor Killer. That's what Dodge nicknamed the TRX, right? The Raptor Killer. And so Ford came out with the Raptor. And the difference between it is it just doesn't have just the 700 horsepower, but it rides like a Cadillac, man. Like, it is such a comfy ride in there. And like the material, the interior in the Raptor R is like top of the line. So like the seats are all micro suede. It's all carbon fiber in there for all the dashboard and everything. And then what's not micro suede, it's leather. Right, so the seats are all bucket seats, and so this ride on it is just smooth, man.
Oh, yeah, man, I think it was a trick to watch, to see, even just to lean my head over the window, which I had almost a detail, man. I was like, this thing is freaking sweet.
Yeah, And so especially I needed a good ride when I drove over 35 hours to come here.
Dude, a better a smooth ride and a heavy foot, because it sounds like you were freaking over here just gassing it nonstop, man.
Oh yeah.
What was the best? What was the best experience coming? Like, I know the whole thing was a great journey, right?
Yeah.
Coming from Canada out here, but what was one of the best moments, like driving down on the road?
My favorite spot was when I hit the Nevada state and actually drove. I don't know what the desert is there, but you cross the desert going across Nevada. So I went through like pretty much from east coast of U.S. right to the west coast. And when I hit Nevada, it comes into a desert area, and there is no traffic, open roads, and let me tell you, there's no police to monitor my speed limit. So let me tell you, Ford, I tested out the Raptor right to the floor, and let me tell you, it's got balls, man.
What did you top it up at?
I actually had it up to 210, and that,
Jesus.
yeah. And that's when I actually was going fast enough, and it was still climbing, and I was like, well, that's good. That's good for this guy. So
Did you decide to take the road less traveled? You know, like just forget the pavement, just hit the actual desert. Actually, some people do that once in a while. You know, they see the traffic, and some people know like the way around the actual desert.
Well, I was already risking it enough, like going through the territory and that. So I didn't take it off road in that, because I didn't want to ruin or break something and then be stranded out there in the middle of the desert. So it's all new area. This was actually my first time coming to the West Coast, man.
Well, welcome to the West Coast,
yeah.
bro. Much love to you here.
Yeah, I love
welcome.
it. Yeah, I love it, man. Here, it's beautiful weather, and let me tell you, the people here are amazing, man. Like this is like a brother from another mother right here, man.
I
So
appreciate you, dude. Left hand. They said left hand for the fake man. Right man. The right hand is the one we shake with, right?
Yeah.
And I got that. I actually got that from. He was 9 years old when he told me this. I was like, "Yeah, man, have a good day." He's like, "Nah, brother, left hand for the fake man."
Yeah.
I mean, we were right. I was like, all right, like, damn, man.
And
like,
usually the right's the strength too, buddy.
There you go.
Yeah.
I mean, I am already dominant with the right hand.
Yeah.
Right? So, but dude, it's one amazing thing also is this guy brought all his gadgets out, and I call them gadgets, man, because I mean they're literally weapons, man.
Yeah.
Weapons that bring out the beast in him. He brought out a Spartan spear. That thing literally remind me of a Spartan spear, brother.
Yeah.
It's all stainless steel, right? Freaking brought it out, start playing with it. That thing was good enough to give somebody a good shaving.
Yeah.
And then you also have your bow and arrow, which you actually brought out, right?
Yeah, I actually got it here to give you guys an example, tell you a little bit about it. But just to speak on that spear there, most people don't even have that spear. It's actually, I had that custom made, and it's made out of stainless steel. And I had to have it perfectly balanced in that, because to actually use it, and it being made out of stainless steel, you can't have it too heavy or that for it, or it's not going to work properly. So I have it perfectly balanced. It's a double-edged spear at the end of it. It's about 2 feet long, the spear itself for it. And I actually use that for spearing big game animals. So what I'm actually trying to do to get on video, because nobody has ever did this yet, is me spearing up close within 6 to 8 feet of bull moose, which is grows about 1,200 pounds up from Canada, where I come from. So I can actually, I know how to call them in and bring them up close to me. So usually rut season, when they get all horny and that, and they're out.
I'm telling you guys be careful with that horniness, because they get you in trouble. You see what he says? This guy's doing over here, getting killed out there from out of the feeling of trying to get a mate.
Yeah. See, even in the animal world, John, the freaking women are getting the men in trouble, right? So so they the moose go into rut season, and it usually happens in fall time, and that is when their hormones go like crazy. They actually go in almost, they get hypnotized, right? And the women actually release a scent, and once a bull moose picks up that scent, it's go time, right? So it's like it's nonstop for that moose, and so he goes in a trance, And for a couple weeks, they go after trying to mate with the moose and that. So at that time, you can actually trick the moose into thinking that you're a female by scenting yourself up with some female which is urine. So their scent is actually from the female cow, and that's what the female moose is called a cow. And you put the urine on you to simulate that you're smelling like a female, and then you do some moose calls. And like the moose calls, I can do an example here.
Go ahead, bro, throw it out. Because from what I'm getting is now, I mean, nowadays it's perfectly fine because everybody's identifying as everything. So nowadays you're gonna be identifying as a female moose. Right?
Yeah. So right now, this is actually a female moose call. That right there would get a male bull moose horned right up like you would not believe, man. If there was bull moose right now in Cali, I have it coming crashing right through this wall. I
wouldn't be surprised, bro. Like it probably hurt you all the way from Canada. I heard that. I just don't smell it.
Oh yeah. So then a moose miles away would hear that. Then it would start coming because it's trying to find that woman, right? And like that call I did was a horn dog call, man. Like that call there just made that moose go like, oh my God, this woman wants it bad.
That sounds like every man at the club when they're drunk. I hear it, I smell it. Yeah. It's like they forget the brain and start thinking with the other head.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh yeah.
Oh, dude, this is freaking amazing.
So then the moose will come, and then that's where I'm trying to get on videotape the moose to come in within spearing distance, and I'm going to use that stainless spear that I showed you guys, and I'm going to spear a bull moose and have it on videotape. And when that happens, my friends, it's going to be the first time ever that it was caught on video.
Hey. And where did you say you went that most people were actually shooting? What was it? Wild boar?
Yeah, wild boar. So last November, I actually went for a wild boar hunt in Corsica, France, which is an island off the south of France. And it's ran by the French down there. And so the French, they just use firearms when they're hunting wild boars, because wild boars is actually, believe this or not, the most craziest animal I ever hunt. Most animals like bears and wolves and that, you can scare them off, right? And they're smart enough that they don't stick around if it's some unusual scent in that. Wild boars, it's totally opposite. Wild boars, if they hear anything, they're actually coming and charging at you. So all the French down there, they use firearms when they're hunting wild boar. Well, it's about a 13-hour flight from Canada, and I couldn't drive down there, so I had to fly. So I took a flight 13 hours there, and there's a lot of regulations in that to bring firearms, especially on planes, as we know. So if just for FYI, for knowledge out there, friends, bow and arrow, compound bow, recurve bow, okay? Not a crossbow, though, because a crossbow is kind of similar to a firearm. Right. So it's in the same category. So a compound bow or a long recurve bow, you don't need no special licenses or registrations to actually bring it on a plane. So they just put it as special carry-on, and then they package it up, and they put it under the plane, but you don't need to fill out no forms or anything for it. So you can actually carry a bow anywhere around the world on a plane. So as a native, it's perfect for me. So I took my bow, went to Corsica, France, got down there, told the French I was actually going to hunt wild boar with my bow. They actually looked at me and thought I was nuts. And let me tell you, friends, I got a little nuts in me. So I went hunting. I hunt some wild boar. I actually shot a wild boar, 100-pound wild boar. And it came at me about, I would say, 80 yards, started charging me. And I put up my bow, wait till it came within range, about 40 yards, and I shot the boar right in the head with my bow and arrow. So yeah, I brought back a wild boar, and the Frenchmen, they could not believe that I shot a wild boar with my bow. And so I got the nickname down in Corsica, France, the Crazy Canadian.
Bro, I'm telling you, not everybody got those guts. Now you're going after freaking 1,200 pound moose. You're going after bear.
Oh yeah,
and a lot of people out here, especially in California, I don't think they got the guts to digest killing animals.
Yeah,
they're okay to see the piece of steak and already made and ready to eat, but I don't think they got the guts to go out and kill it.
Yeah, well, I talked to one of the gentlemen when I was down here, and he's all like, "Yeah, I hunt and that." So I'm like, "Yeah, what do you hunt?" He's like, "Oh, rabbits and birds and that." I'm like, "Oh, really?" And then, so then I told them what I hunted, and they're like, just complete quiet right after, and it was just like, "Okay, yeah."
Man. So, a little bit on a different well, I guess still the same thing, man, because it takes a lot of guts, right? You're also a businessman.
Yes.
Right? Believe it or not, this guy's, I was looking at your videos and I was like, this guy doesn't just camouflage in the jungle or in the forest or anywhere he's at, man. I was looking at your video, you're suited up, you're nicely dressed, you camoed up, and then you have your tank top. I was like, man, this guy blends in everywhere.
Yeah.
So what got you into entrepreneur, into becoming or going into the entrepreneur route?
Yeah, so it's actually because I was raised up with nothing. Indigenous, and not even indigenous. A lot of people nowadays don't have much money. So my family is poor. So I never had much money growing up. So anything I ever wanted, I had to work for it to get. So I developed a good hard work ethic at a very young age. And to actually achieve anything in life, success, or to get anything, you need money, right? And so, yes, I'm indigenous, First Nation Algonquin, born and raised, try to live that lifestyle as much as possible. But in the 21st century, you have to adapt and have to actually do something with your life other than living in the bush. Because if I want to make a difference in that, I have to make money, right? And become a success. So my main mission was, because I seen the poverty level with most people, with most cultures, what I'm trying to do is change people's lives in that. So one thing with me being native Algonquin is any land I purchase, it actually turns into heritage native land, which means that when I'm long gone, if there's no buildings or anything developed on it, nobody can ever develop on that land or do anything to that land. It has to stay in its original natural shape. So my main mission for my company, which is Hunting for Greatness, the Native Ways, is to buy as much land as I can possibly buy till I get buried in the dirt, right? And turn that into natural native heritage land, so that when I'm long gone, our future generation, children and that, will have land and be able to experience that outdoor life, that the natural way of Mother Earth and that. So it's very special to me to be able to do that, if I can leave that as a legacy behind. So that's what developed me into an entrepreneur mindset. I did actually have a good career and do still have a good career. I'm actually a firefighter, municipal firefighter in Ontario. And I've been a firefighter for 13 years now. So I've saved a lot of lives. My whole personality is to help people. And but you can only go so far when you work for the government, right? And so I realized that if you are going to make big changes in the world and that, you need to be an entrepreneur. You need to run your own business. You can't work for anybody. You can't even think that a good career is going to get you anywhere, because it doesn't. Like, I'm a walking proof of this. I've been a firefighter for 13 years. I make good salary. I'll tell you, my salary is over $120,000 a year I make. So, and people listening out there, that's coming from nothing, 120,000 a year is a lot to them. But at the end of the day, the way our economy is, the way the world is nowadays, 120,000 is nothing, man. It's peanuts, right?
You could barely get by even with a
Yeah.
family.
Yes.
And having a family, 120K. I mean,
Yeah.
now you're barely making something happen.
Yeah.
And it's a struggle even with 120.
It is. And people don't realize this, that you get told that you have to go to school, get this good career and that. But at the end of the day, when you get that career, you go to school, okay, you still aren't ahead of the game. You're actually stuck. And it's actually worse at that time because you've been there so long and you're kind of, because it was so much work to get to that level, that point, you don't want to risk it. You don't want to change that lifestyle, right? So you get comfortable. And then that's where you stay and you just pretty much save for the rest of your life. You don't get anywhere and you end up passing away. And so
Even there's certain careers, right? They end up being like lawyers, doctors. But what do they end up doing? They end up opening their own practice, their own office laws.
Yeah.
Right? Why? Because even if you're working for someone else and you're looking for a certain lifestyle, I mean, it just doesn't pan out at times.
Yeah.
You know? Like I myself try to go to college, try to have an automotive tech career.
Yeah.
And dude, I mean, making 17, what was it now? $16 an hour. And then even went to becoming a plumber, right? Plumber in a trade, was making 45 an hour, and I wasn't even paying that much rent, and it was still a struggle, man.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, I had to try to do something. So even now with my career or my business, is like it's a constant struggle, man.
Yeah.
Because I'm making enough to pay the bills. I'm making enough to do what I need to do, but still need to do more. So when you say it, it's like you pick a career and you're stuck getting paid so much, but then you gotta pay student loans back. Like, man, I don't know. I honestly don't know how people do it. Having a career, having all this money that they have to pay back, and then not having the energy or fortitude maybe to be like, you know what, I need to get the hell out of here.
Yeah.
You know, because a lot of people, like say, they just decide to be like, you know what, I'm just gonna stay here.
Yeah.
Right. So I mean, unless you're gonna get a career that's gonna let you open your own business at the end of the day, like a practice or a law firm or something that's gonna be that's needed and be really good at it. Like if money's your end game, I don't think you're gonna get much with.
Yeah.
It's just a simple.
Well, if you want to do anything in life that's worth doing, which I mean leaving a legacy behind, changing people's lives, you can't. You have to be an entrepreneur. You have to run your own business. There is no other option. So anybody out there thinking there is no option. I've been there. I've done it. I've walked both roads. And the final road I'm at is entrepreneur, running my own business. And the thing with your own business, like you were saying, John, is yes, it's hard work, and you're struggling, and you're every day it's a battle. But the difference with entrepreneur running your own business is it's all up to what you put in that you're going to get out of it. And so the harder you work for your business, the more your business is going to grow, and the more you're going to end up gaining and making at the end of the day. So it's limitless. It is limitless when you are an entrepreneur and running your own business, because it's all up to you on how big you want to grow, right? That's why that mastermind we attended to, John, Driven Mastermind, ran by Albert Preciado, the most best investment you can invest into yourself, especially if you're trying to start your own business.
Yeah, man, that's where I come from too, man. And they like to Albert and Seal like me to always tell that story. It's like, dude, tell your story. Let them know where you started. I was like, dude, I started with a $67 academy.
Yeah.
I'm like, from $67, I went and invested into a $2,000 calls every week, right? From the 2,000 calls, I invested into a 3,000 driven event. From a 3,000 driven event, 5,000 mastermind.
Yeah.
5,000 mastermind. We went all the way to the
30,000 inner circle. Yeah.
Right? And honestly, people are like, what the hell? 30,000? Like, what? Yeah, 30,000.
Yeah.
And back then, I used to think 30,000 was a lot of money, and I'm like, yeah, that is not enough. That is not enough. And it's tough. Like I said, like you just said, man, it's been tough having a business, but it gives the freedom to do what you want. especially if your mindset is there. And no matter what you try to do in life, whether it's school, your own business, entrepreneur life, whatever it is, even if you want to be a salesperson, especially a salesperson, you gotta have a mindset, a
Yes.
great mindset.
Yeah.
And I mean, even for hunting, I don't like you say,
Yeah.
I don't think a lot of people my age in their 34s that's been in the city using the phone all the time. I really don't think they can handle the outdoors that way
No.
because the mindset is stuck in a city. The mindset is stuck on a phone.
Yeah.
You get them away from a phone, they lose their shit.
Yeah.
Kind of like when Instagram kind of went down for, I think it was like for a day.
Yeah.
It was like, did your Instagram go down? What's going on? Did you check? I was like, what's going on? People like relax. It's just Instagram, you know? But a lot of people count on that social media. A lot of people count on the new ways of doing things.
Yeah.
Forget that we have Mother Nature at times. You know?
Well, that's the thing, right? Everything's now computerized and electronics. And we had an episode a couple years ago in Canada where Rogers, which is the number one telecommunications system that runs all the cell phones and internet in Canada, actually went down for like 2 to 3 days. Okay. And let me tell you, people thought it was doomsday down in Canada. Like, they went crazy, man. I couldn't believe it. Like, and that was just cell phones and internet that went down for a couple days, and people did not know what they could do with themselves, right? So this is kind of what my hunting for greatness stands for, is actually reconnecting humans back to Mother Nature and end up bringing them and showing them the basics of life. Like, telling you folks, like, it doesn't take much for electronics to go down. And you see all the problems that's happening around the world. Like, believe this or not, we are in World War III, man. It's in a new age war, right? And so everyone's fighting. So you never know when all the electronics are going to go down. Now, what are you going to do when it goes down, right? You're going to want to have a friend like Chief Little Eagle here. Yeah. I told anybody, man, anyone that's close to me, all my brothers, man, if it ever goes down to doomsday, you just come find Chief Little Eagle. I will have a bunch of land. I got it protected, man. And I got your back, brother. So you come find Chief Little Eagle. We got you.
I'm good with a slingshot.
Yeah.
I'm good with a rock in my hand. I got pretty good aim.
Yeah.
Even my kid, man, anything he throws, he's like, he was using my little Chihuahua's target practice when he was younger. I was like, that's my freaking kid, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't condone animal violence, but Jesus, this kid was literally grabbing anything. He'd grab a toy. You see a little puppy running around, he just, whack him right in the hand. I'm like, dude, where did you get such a good arm? You know? Yeah. But like I said, man, from my young days, my grandpa raised us hunting, deer hunting. Yeah, the cute bird and rabbit hunting, you know.
Yeah, well, he was a good man. I didn't know your grandfather, but yeah, God bless him. He's a good man for teaching. And I do believe that everyone, whether you live in Cali, whether you live in Miami, it doesn't matter, that you should at least know the basics. Because if something does happen, how are you going to protect your family, especially your loved ones, man? Right? Like
I'm a pescatarian, bro. I love fishing.
Yeah.
So if you put me near a body of water, we're eating fish.
Yeah.
I mean, even if it's tadpoles, bro, I'll catch those.
Well, that's the thing too. No, you made a good point, John. If you're against killing animals and that, fishing is the next best thing, man. But do you know how to fish? Do you know how to end up putting a line together or making a makeshift net out of just materials? Because if something goes down, you're not going to be able to find fishing line or that, especially if you're in a city, man. I don't even think I saw anything fishing or hunting. I think I was the only hunted friggin' creature walking around California.
So yeah, dude, usually everybody's very like, the people that I've met are very not hidden, but they are
to themselves,
to themselves, conservative.
Yes,
right. They're conservative to this kind of things because, like I said, California is very sensitive when it comes to this stuff, man. And I'm just like, the fuck, you guys are eating chicken fajitas, beef fajitas, but just because you guys didn't see the animal get killed, it just doesn't count or something.
Yeah,
you know, like, dude. I mean, at the end of the day, you're eating a burger. Like, where the hell do you think the meat came from?
Yeah, and actually, that's actually way unsanitary where it is. Like, it's actually warehouses, and they're just pretty much growing animals, particularly for slaughter. Okay, and then they go on a conveyor belt, and it's just in a warehouse all day constantly, and they're killing these animals just raised just for food that you get in your grocery stores. And talk about, they're doing thousands of animals daily, every single day. Talk about them cleaning? No, it's not clean, man. And some of the meat, what it's made out of, like hot dogs. Any of yous out there that eat hot dogs?
And look it up. I dare you. Yeah. You know, look up. You ever watch What the Health?
No, I haven't.
If you watch that, you would be like, holy, like it's freaking. It got me thinking a lot, man.
Yeah.
It literally changed the way. Like, if I eat something, like I'm like, I don't want to eat this, but there's like no other option. Like, what do I do?
Yeah.
I was like, well, I have to eat, man. But I definitely don't eat hot dogs just because I see what's processed through that. I don't eat ground beef just because I don't know what beef it is and how they ground it up.
Exactly.
If I'm gonna do ground beef, the best thing is to actually give me the good chuck, you know, and
do
the grounding ourselves.
Yeah.
But I don't do none of that processed meat. As the processed meat, I don't touch.
Yeah. You know? Well, and that's good way of thinking, because you don't know what's in that meat, man.
And you know what's in the moose when you prep it, though, right? When you dress it up. And
well, that's the thing. Like, I do everything for my wild game meat in Canada. I hunt everything myself. I field dress everything myself, and that's another thing that most hunters don't know how to do, is field dress their own meat. They can hunt and they can kill the animal, but they don't know how to actually clean it, right? And so that's another thing. I've written 3 books, and one of my books is actually just on field dressing, just to teach you. It has pictures, information on small game animals, because when you start off hunting, you want to start off small to get to practice, right?
The cute ones.
Yeah. The ones that you big hunters here in California, the rabbits and the quail and that. Yeah, those are the animals I'm talking about that you'll start in field dressing. But when you grow up and become a native man, then you come see me, and then we'll go hunt some bears, some moose, some deer, some wild boar. With it. But no, all the kidding aside with it, you need to just not know how to hunt, because hunting's pretty easy on the basics of it. But field dressing it, packaging it, that's a whole new story, right? And I'll tell you, I'll give you a tip right now, friends out there, for packaging your meat. So after you field dress, you take the hair off, you take the meat, the specific cuts from the bones and that on it, and you want to package your meat to put in the freezer. The best way to package your meat to last the longest is you wrap it up in saran wrap. I think you guys call that here saran wrap too, the same thing, right? In Canada, the plastic wrap. You wrap that around the meat. You take out all the air from it, okay? Then you wrap that with butcher wrap paper, and then you just seal it off with some masking tape, or not masking tape, just some tape. And that there, your meat is good in the freezer for 1 to 2 years. Yeah.
Man, I need to get myself to hunting, man. I had eaten wild meat, which was deer, and then I got to try bear sausage.
Yeah.
And that was from a friend of mine that loves hunting too. And he literally does what you do, man. He like, I'm not going to work today, man. I'm just going to go out and do my thing. He gets lost for like a whole week and then comes back with freaking ton of meat.
Yeah. Well, so that's the whole reason why I hunt big game animals, is because you get large amounts of meat. So for example, one bull moose, you'll get an average of 500 pounds of meat, and that you're making steaks, roast, hamburger out. So one bull moose will supply my family for a year in meat. Yeah. And like this year, because
Guerrero you are, bro. Going out there.
Yeah, and I actually too understand for my Hispanic brothers out there, Guerreros, learning, man, warrior. I love it. I love it, man.
Didn't you say you have that was the other thing too? You have a warrior.
Yeah,
tatted on your back.
Yeah, right? Actually, I'll even show you guys there on it.
Look at that,
right on the spine.
Boom.
God's warrior, man.
Jeez, dude. When he told me that, I was like, oh, I definitely got to get this guy. And he's been a warrior way before I even met him, and it's amazing to have people like Pat's on the show, or on the podcast, I want to call it, right? Because at the end of the day, man, he's over here teaching us about hunting. He's over here letting us know what it is to be an entrepreneur, what it is to be out from all the gadgets, even though we're using a ton right here, right?
Yeah.
But Man, it's always great to.
Yeah.
But it's one of those things, man. That it's a pleasure for me to have you here, and an honor, brother, because it's not a lot of people can do what you do. You know,
Yeah.
you're part wild man and part CEO out here. You know, and so if there's anything you can give, how old are you now? If you don't mind me asking.
I'm 38 years old.
38. If there's if there is one thing you can tell your younger self, let's say your 15 or 20-year-old self, what would it be?
It would be to get on the entrepreneur path right away. Like, I wish I would have been doing what I'm doing right now, like when I was 18 and 20 years old. But let's, to be honest with you friends out there, and not to make the story different, but I was just like most of you out there, you know, partying, drinking, and I also had a drug problem when I was younger. And we're talking in my 18s, young 20s, and that. So I'm 38 years old. And since I was 28 years old, I've completely stopped everything. That's when I changed my life around. I had a dramatic life event, which I almost died from. And so I changed my life around. And from 28 years, it's been 12 years now. I don't drink. I don't do drugs. I don't party. And my main focus is my family. So I have 3 daughters, and my main thing is to build an empire for them and to show them a life that I never had growing up, right? So if I could talk to my young self, I would say, get on that entrepreneur mindset and never give up. That's the problem nowadays with people, right? Is most people, once things get tough, they give up and they quit. But the thing is once you quit, you never know when you're going to break through and get to that next level. Mm-hmm. And so entrepreneur is hard. If it wasn't hard, everybody would be doing it. Right?
That's why they call it the 1%ers out there, man.
It's the 1%ers. They're the entrepreneurs. Yeah. But the thing that I will tell you to give you guys hope is everybody can be a 1%. It doesn't matter who you are, which culture you come from, what environment you come from. Everybody has a chance to be the 1%. It's all if you put your mind to it and you put into the action, put in the work, that's man. Right. And so that's one thing I know. My life has been hard. I've overcome so many obstacles. Even right now, friends, me just traveling and that, all joking aside with it, I've invested over $60,000 into myself within the last 2 months, okay? I have a family, 3 daughters to end up taking care of. And I also, in the last 2 years, have spent around $200,000 in different things, growing my business, writing my books, making other products and that, right? So to be completely transparent to all of you viewers out there, I'm at my top edge right now. I've invested everything I've saved up from my career, working as a firefighter that was supposed to supposedly give me that American dream, if you want to say, which did not give me that American dream. Entrepreneur is giving me that American dream. But I'm at my top right now. I have a lot on my shoulders. I have a lot of business that's going on right now, and I got a lot of people relying on me. A huge responsibility. That's another thing, John. With me being chief, I am one of the youngest chiefs of my people to ever exist. So that is a huge responsibility. I got 11,000 Algonquin people in Canada to be that leader, to be the chief of all chiefs to. So not even that, I have my own intermediate family, my business, my products that I have to try to make my money back that I've invested into it. I have 11,000 people to lead, to look up to, and be that example for them, right?
That's some big shoes.
And so that's why I've committed to myself to be that leader that does not drink, that does not do drugs, that does not party, because I am the minority, okay? And I'm not following the majority. And to get to the level I'm getting to, you need to live that lifestyle, friends. It's not easy. It's hard. Takes a lot of discipline and commitment. But guess what? Everybody can do it, man. That's right. You just got to put your mind to it. Just like this, limitless, man. Limitless. It's unstoppable. It's just what you put your mind to. That's right. You can do anything. That's right. Anything's possible. And you know what impossible stands for? I am possible.
That's right. I got to break that baby into two.
Yeah. And I got one more quote I live by, friends, is if you can't do great things, then do small things in great ways. Wow. Napoleon Hill.
Wow. That's beautiful.
Yeah.
And I think it's a perfect time to ask you, brother, what does it mean to be a guerrero to Pat?
Oh, to be a guerrero. And I hope I sound it right. I'm still practicing my Spanish,
no worries,
friends.
Man. You got it. A guerrero. There we go.
I am a brother. It's like I said to you, John, you're a brother from another mother, man. With you being a warrior, that's your warrior in your culture, man. And that's me. Like I showed you guys, I got warrior on me, and I'm a warrior just from Canada, man. I'm your Canadian warrior. So what Guerrero stands for me is just being that true, real man, that warrior that stands up for his family, that wears his heart on his sleeve, and that never gives up. That's what Guerrero stands for me, brother.
Damn, brother. Look at that. If there's anybody out there doubting themselves, trying to figure out life, like he just said, man, do small things with a great intention, and don't just freaking give up. The minute you give up, you're going to find yourself trying to do something else, and you're going to find out that it's hard as well, and then you're going to give up again. So it's the mindset. Work on your mindset. Work on yourself. Become that leader for the people that are counting on you. I mean, Pat's right here got 11,000 people counting on him. And you here just, possibly most people just got to count on yourself. And if you can even keep yourself up, how can you even keep up and be a leader with the people that you are supposed to be a leader for? So, Pats, thank you again, brother, for being here in Guerrero's podcast. I appreciate you, man. I know you got a long trip to head back home.
Yeah.
And may God bless you on that trip, and you have safe travels, brothers. I appreciate you being here today.
Yeah, Jonathan, it's an honor to be here on Guerrero's podcast, and also with Limitless Studio. So that's to our other brother, John. A shout out to you, my friend.
Brother Jonathan, that's right.
Yes. And I'm leaving right from here from this podcast, and I'm driving right back to Canada, to my home and native land. So I'm going to be on the road for the next 35 hours, friends. I will be filming my journey back so I can share with you guys my adventures in that, because I don't think there's many of you that will take the initiative that I have and walk my path or walk in my shoes. So the least I can do is show you guys the world and show you my journey, my adventures, show that I never give up, that I keep going. And that you guys follow me. Follow me on Instagram at hunting4 greatness. So hunting4 greatness. Follow me if you want to know more about the native ways. Get back to your natural roots. Also, John, I'm working on right now a mastermind so that people that want to experience this life true and real, you can actually come to my territory, to my land. I'll take you out hunting. If we get some animals, which I'm pretty good at, we will get some animals. I will show you how to field dress them, package them. You can even take your own meat that you get home with you. And so you get to live out in the wilderness for a weekend. You get to live in I'm building real teepees and having real fires and that. So you can get away from the 21st century modern life, experience the outdoors, experience Mother Earth, get away from all this technology and actually come and ground yourself and actually listen to Mother Nature, the peace and quiet of the outdoors.
Beautiful. You guys already know. You guys already know where to hit up Pat's. He's already through. Is there anywhere else they can find you?
Yes, I do have a website too, www.patgats.com. So you can check it out there. That has my books on there, and then also my coaching is going to be on there too. So you can contact me. But friends out there, don't give up. And the ones that are struggling and having problems, there's always somebody out there to help you. So there's many people that's willing to give the shirt off their back for you. So don't give up, friends. Keep working hard, and you will make it to the top. Thank you for having me, John.
Once again, brother, thank you. Again, there you have it. Hats, First Nation Algonquin, here on Guerrero's podcast. Don't forget to watch. Don't forget to share. And don't wait till the next episode. It's going to be dropping soon. Yeah. You're going to be on there, man. We're going to get all the editing going. Again, Guerreros, let's go. Thank you, brother. Appreciate you.